Greetings from the Philippines to the world. It's August 18, 5 p.m. here in Manila, and we are on Eaglenews.PH. I am Caesar Vallejos. We are open for business. Join me discover the latest news and information in business around the world. Stay ahead of the curve from vision to action. The peso is 53.34 against the dollar, and at the closing of trade yesterday, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index closed at 7,583.52, up 66.16 points or 0.88%. When Manila hosted the ASEAN, we have heard the discussions on inclusivity among businessmen, how large businesses can embrace small businesses as part of the ecosystem. And there were many discussions how inclusivity can be felt by the majority of Filipinos in the archipelago. How can the nation achieve inclusive prosperity? One of the ways is through financial inclusion. According to the World Bank, financial inclusion means that individuals and businesses have access to useful and affordable financial products and services that meet their needs, from their transactions, payments, savings, credit, and insurance, delivered in a responsible and sustainable way. But what exactly is financial inclusion, and how will it bring the financial system closer to Filipinos? What are the products and services under financial inclusion? Can regular workers like teachers, mariners, and individuals who are unbanked or underserved benefit from financial inclusion? We are privileged today, this afternoon, to speak with the President and CEO of Citi Savings, who will educate us later on financial inclusion. Before we talk with Mr. Catalino Abacan of Citi Savings, let's take a look at these business stories we've seen published this week. OFW remittances up by 2.8% in the first half of the year. Central Bank sees lower inflation by the last quarter, and the Department of Finance upbeat on the Philippine economy in the second half. And Paymaya partners with Western Union. Here are the details. For the first half of the year, personal remittances from expatriate Filipinos totaled $15.8 billion, posting a 2.8% year-on-year growth. For the first semester of 2018, cash remittances coursed through banks recorded a 2.7% growth from the same period a year ago to reach $14.2 billion. However, compared to the same period last year, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas said that personal remittances for June declined by 4.9% to $2.6 billion. The central bank said that the Overseas Filipino Workers Repatriation Program of the government may have partly affected the remittance flows for the month. Cash remittances coming from the United States, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, the United Kingdom, UAE, Japan, Qatar, Germany, Hong Kong, and Canada accounted for more than 79% of total cash remittances for the first 6 months of 2018. Inflation should peak in the next 2 months before slowing closer to the target, the country's central bank chief said, noting that tax-related price pressures have been tapering off. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Nestor Espinilla Jr. said that the biggest price spikes will be seen in August or September before settling within the 2 to 4% target band by next year. Inflation has averaged 4.5% as of end July, as it touched a multi-year high of 5.7% last month. The Philippine economy will grow faster in the second half of this year on the back of larger investment inflows and exports, higher infrastructure expenditures, and improved revenue efforts, the Department of Finance reported. Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III said that the economic numbers for the second semester of 2018 remain very promising, and the year's anemic second quarter gross domestic product growth of 6% was a mere exception that does not indicate a medium-term trend. Money issuer Paymaya Philippines and Western Union have expanded their partnership to allow users to directly receive domestic and international remittances into their digital accounts. With these Users of PayMaya can now use a digital payout feature which allows them to receive money from Western Union fund transfers without visiting a physical store, doing away with queues and documentary requirements for remittances. PayMaya President Orlando Vea said that the collaboration drives even greater financial inclusion for our families across the country. All they need to receive their Western Union money transfer via PayMaya is their mobile phones. It's convenient, quick and easy, and allows them to save time and money for other more important things. When open for business returns, the President and CEO of City Savings Bank, Mr. Lino Abacan, will join us. Keep watching. Open for business here on Eaglenewslive.com. Join us, be enlightened with the practice of financial inclusion with Mr. Lino Abacan, President and CEO of City Savings Bank. Thank you for coming to the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Cesar. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay. Sir, Lino, our discussion would focus on financial inclusion, and I learned that you are one of the first institutions who embraced financial inclusion. Why? What can you give us the background? Why did you embrace it? But before that, can you tell us what financial inclusion is?
Okay. Financial inclusion, it is the making available the products, financial products, and the access to those products in the community.
Okay.
So basically, it's it. What are the products involved? It covers deposit products, payment products, remittances, investment, insurance, and payment products.
Sir, but some viewers would say, oh, the other regular banks are doing that already. So what's new with the financial? How would you classify it into financial inclusion?
Okay. Today, based on the data that we gather from BSP and the Philippine Statistics Authority, there were areas which are what they call unbanked or underbanked. Underbanked and also unserved and underserved. Let me give some context to it. When we say unserved and underserved, we refer to it into the area where there are no banks or there are no other financial service provider.
So this would be like the rural areas in the provinces, maybe in Nueva Vizcaya, in Cagayan. Okay.
Based on the data, only there were 36% of our municipalities without banks. So why is bank the barometer? Because they have almost all the products. So in lieu of the banks, there were in those places, there were insurance companies or the remittance center, the foreign exchange dealer. So those are the surrogate of banks because they provide also financial products.
I see. So you said 36% of municipalities have banks.
Have no banks.
Have no banks. I see. So that's still a huge.
It's about 550 to 600 municipalities.
Okay, sir. And then you said you were one of the pioneers who looked at this market. So can you give a background on that?
City Savings is the savings bank arm or trip banking arm of Union Bank of the Philippines. Though our involvement started only in 2013, this entity is a 52-year-old company already. Okay. The original founder, Don Ramon Aboitis and Mr. Chotimo Abellana, have this simple vision of helping people of moderate means. So it is aligned with the roots of the financial inclusion. So that's why I said this bank could be the first, one of the pioneers to embrace financial inclusion.
Wow. Okay. So, sir, you mentioned this phrase moderate means. When you say moderate means, are this the poor, or do you have a special gauge on who in the community are under this category?
Initially we started dealing with the tricycle driver, the market vendors, the jeepney drivers in the community. But later on, there was a refocus. We held the government employees in the municipalities. And way back year 2000, another focus more on a community. Because our goal is to enter into a mass market. And we thought at that time that the teachers market is a large community which we can also help. We've been hearing a lot of things about teachers being cash-strapped or not having enough money to support their needs. So we thought that will be an area where we can help.
I see. Oh, that's very interesting, sir, especially on the teachers, because I remember my teacher when I was younger also selling stuff to us.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
so that is one kind of indication that that what they are receiving,
Yeah.
especially I'm a product of the public
Yeah.
school system, that it's not enough, or they needed to augment
to
their
augment,
needs. So why them and why the public sector? Do you have a specific data, sir, on
Yeah. We have, in the Philippines now, we have around 700,000 teachers and non-teaching employees of DepEd.
Okay.
So there is a tie-up between the financial institution,
Mhm.
especially the banks,
Mhm.
with DepEd,
Okay.
in which you can only charge interest that is controlled by DepEd. It should not go beyond that amount. So meaning, you're helping your business, at the same
Okay.
time, you're helping the community.
Mhm.
So out of these 700,000 teachers, approximately half of it is receiving services from City Savings.
Mhm.
Not only the loan side or the credit side, one of the items for the financial inclusion, but also on the deposit or savings side. No? They maintain deposit as well. It's not only borrowing. It's not aligned to the wrong notion of the others. The teachers borrow and borrow for no need at all.
Okay.
So you'll be surprised when we were touring the Philippines, all the branches. I will sit down incognito in the lobby, and I will ask some of the teachers without introducing the time and officer of the bank.
Okay.
The teachers, the reason for borrowing is to support their backyard business.
Wow.
Some are into hollow blocks making. Others will be in piggery and the rest. Some of the amount also being borrowed is being used to support the school of their children. So it's not correct that they gonna buy only gadget for themselves.
Okay.
It's not true. You will, when we ask them, why are you still borrowing? Is your financials not enough? So
Okay.
they said they have other source of income, say tutoring on the
Okay.
side. So the money that they borrow is really intended either for education of the children or to support their business.
Okay. Sir, so when you learned of these problems by
Yeah.
speaking with them,
Yeah.
talking with them, there is, when going back to the basics or the concept of financial
Yeah.
inclusion, it has to be easy for them to
Yeah.
borrow. It has to be
right.
easy for them to open an account. So what are the special conditions that you provided to teachers so that it's going to be easier for them?
Okay. It's a simple verification system.
Okay.
In the AMLA, the Anti-Money Laundering Act, they're asking for 11 items, 11 information, name, date of birth, source of income,
Yes.
and so on and so forth.
Correct.
The other area there is you need to provide identification to the bank. That's
Okay.
part of the AMLA. So since we have already their data, they are connected with DepEd, we can easily identify them, so it will be easier to open an account with us.
Okay.
Okay. As to the getting a loan, we employed technology.
Okay.
There's one project which we call Loan Ranger.
Okay.
That's LOAN.
Oh, so it's
Okay,
not the
the
loan
Ranger
alone.
that we know,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. With that technology, we can reach out to the schools of the teachers.
Okay.
We know that they are very busy teaching our
Yes, so
youth.
some of them would
Yeah.
talk from 8 a.m.
Yeah, right.
to 5
Instead
p.m.
of getting absent from the school,
Okay.
we go there, we process what they need, and presto, they're gonna get it through their ATM.
I see. So it's like the bank, your facility, who will go to their places,
Yeah.
and then what's the process? Do they have a laptop there, or like say
we have a
an
tablet
iPad?
today. It's a more improved gadget now. It's only a tablet, and we got the approval also of the Banco Central that they can use the stylus for their signature and that will be acceptable.
Interesting.
So, meaning,
What if there is
yeah,
no signal in the area, sir?
Yeah, we brought our own, what's that, the chip.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
Okay, the
okay.
dango.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
okay.
interesting. Your own, probably your own Wi-Fi
Yeah,
gadget as well. Okay.
So meaning the main purpose for doing that is we want to bring the bank to our client.
I
So that's
see.
the primary goal. of
Okay,
that
that's
foundation.
interesting, sir. And going back, you said that when you were talking with the teachers, you said that you are trying to finance or giving a loan to them
Yeah.
for a specific purpose.
Yeah.
Is part of your program guiding them into
Yeah.
their business. Like for
Okay.
example, you would identify, as you mentioned, it's a source to fund their piggery, their backyard business. Like, do you give them like a certain guide in terms of business planning to make
Yeah.
sure that they will pay you back?
Okay, not really on the business planning, but we make it a point that part of the financial inclusion strategy is to give them financial wellness or financial literacy program.
Okay.
Okay, so we teach them where to invest, when to spend their money, where to save, when to save. It's like that, no? And then why the teachers? Why are we teaching them? It's like a train the trainer type.
Okay.
So we're training the teacher, and we expect the teacher to cascade their learning to the students eventually.
Oh, I see.
That's the connection there.
So it's really, it's also educating them, educating the future generations.
Right.
I see. But
So yeah, to prepare the youth for to be open to savings, caring for money, how to maintain the value of that money for the future.
and in doing that, sir, is there like some sort of a curriculum that you do, or like a certificate, or it's just an informal material?
It's no. We prepared the material. We got the approval of DepEd as well, and the present undersecretary is so amazed with that module, and she attended our first run within the DepEd.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When open for business returns, let's ask Mr. Abacan if this financial inclusion is also limited to teachers, because it's a very exciting and it's a very inclusive program. Let's ask him later if they have plans of offering it to the other sectors and industries. Open for business returns. Keep watching. for business. Open for business here on Eaglenewslive.com, sir. We asked earlier. You mentioned earlier that it's a facility, it's a system, it's a program for teachers. Do you have plans of creating another program for other sectors or industries?
Yeah.
Okay.
We started with OFW, also the pensioner. Okay? And then the family of the OFW as well.
So with the OFWs and pensioners, it's already existing as well?
Pensioner is live.
Okay.
OFW, we did a pilot run early this year, and we hope to put it in production soon.
I see.
Okay.
Because I asked that because we have viewers from our different bureaus all over the world, and we hope that this could be also beneficial to their families, not only for them but their families here in the Philippines. But sir, let me go back to earlier when you said about underserved and unserved. You were referring to geographic areas, to rural sectors, to communities who don't have banks in their localities. So what about the unbanked? What is this unbanked, and how many are they, sir?
Yeah. The unbanked and underbanked refers to the person, no?
Okay.
When you say unbanked, he doesn't have any access to banking at all.
Okay.
The underbanked could be in a place where there will be pawn shop or the money changer, the insurance company, but without a bank.
Correct.
So that is called underbanked. Because as we explained earlier, the banks have an almost complete product which is covered in this financial inclusion.
Okay.
So that's why they are called underbanked.
Okay.
The facility is not available in that
Not
area.
available.
Yeah,
Okay. But we say, but when you say unbanked, this
Unbanked, they keep their money at home if they ever save, no? According to the data, about 40% of those with capacity to save will save their money just at home.
Okay, and I've read a lot of reports with Open for Business in the past that there are reasons why they, based on as a banker for several years, why do a lot of Filipinos still keep their money in the bank?
Keeping a bank account sometimes is a little prohibitive because of the minimum balance requirement of the bank.
Okay.
So they set that amount, and some cannot afford to keep that amount. So instead, they'll keep the bank at home. But BSP come into the picture early this year by issuing what they call a basic deposit product.
Okay.
So it doesn't require you to have a maintaining balance. It's only 100 pesos to open. No more than 100 pesos.
But you have to go, 100 pesos, but you have to go through the process of documentation.
The documentation, they keep it a bit less strict.
Okay, like?
Especially the rural people, they will not have ID. The barangay certification will be enough.
Wow, that will suffice. But how many, like say in terms of the number of requirements, how many requirements?
It's only that. Certification that he belongs to that barrio will be enough. And then you'll open the account with 100 pesos just to encourage them to put some more. Okay. The limit though is up to 50,000. If you hit more than 50, you'll be transferred to a regular account. So there'll be a maintaining balance in that account. So up to 50, you're okay. That's a regular basic deposit account.
So basically, sir, now that you have discussed the underserved, the unserved, and the unbanked, so in terms of all these programs on financial inclusion, and then you started, you said, with the teachers, and eventually you go to pensioners and also OFWs. What's the strategy behind this, sir? Do you plan to institutionalize it? Do you plan to expand it? Are you in the process of merging with the other banks? Are you in the process of merging with the other rural banks?
Financial inclusions the definition is that there should be available product,
Okay.
and the other one is the access.
Mhm.
So even if you have the product, there's no access, the financial inclusion will not work.
Okay.
So today we are getting one entity.
Mhm.
I will not announce the name, but
Okay.
it's all over the Philippines. They have 400 company-owned stores
Okay.
and 2,000 and around 1,600 maybe business partners, the accredited stores with them, because they're one of the authorized remittance entity in the Philippines, one of the pioneer with tie-up with the remittance company all over the world. It's a known entity. No? So we're going to use their channels
Okay.
to reach out to these people so that they'll have access on remittance, deposit, and even the loan side.
Mhm.
So they'll go there. Also, I mentioned earlier that we are focusing on mass market.
Okay.
So when we say mass market, it's a group like what we mentioned earlier about the teachers.
Mhm.
Teachers is a community
Mhm.
in itself. We're getting the operations of another entity which will be focusing on the motorcycle business.
Okay.
Okay,
So what's so special, sir, with
Yeah.
the motorcycle business? We
Will
know
be-
that there's a lot of Toda everywhere.
yeah.
So there's New Era Toda.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
anywhere there is Toda. Is that the sector that you are
Right.
trying to
Yeah, we're trying
target?
to help them as well,
Mhm.
giving them a less cost access to credit.
Mhm.
So that will be our target. That's another big community in itself.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So, sir, what about for some sectors they find it hard to or they fear that the waiting of a loan application takes time.
Mhm.
So, what's the strategy behind this? So, like for example, as soon as you give your application for loans,
How long?
will
Yeah.
it take for them
Okay.
to get approval for
yeah.
it? Do you have that kind of technology
Yeah.
that gets immediate approval,
Okay.
or at
Okay.
least they would learn immediately?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. We've tried that technology with the teachers market.
Okay.
We had what we call a black box,
Okay.
which will process all the information that you put in.
Mhm.
We'll also see whether you were once a bad account.
Mhm.
We have a database for that.
Mhm.
And in 15 minutes, you'll know whether you're going to get a loan or not.
Mhm. Wow, that's very fast.
Yeah. Oh,
How long? Sorry, sir.
15 minutes. It used to be
15
1
minutes.
hour, 40 minutes, but we have cut it to 15 by doing technology. So similarly, we'll employ the same strategy to what we're talking about, the motorcycle business.
Mhm.
We are there in this company for about a month only
Okay.
today. We're getting all the data. We will be replicating the same black box concept so that
Okay.
we can immediately say go and no go.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. But what's the technology behind it?
There's a loan subclass that we develop internally,
Okay.
which will consider all the credit factors as well as the behavioral factors.
Mhm.
In a credit transaction, you have to see whether on the credit side, whether that person has the capability
Mhm.
to pay.
Mhm.
So that's why we're getting data. On the other side will be the behavioral part.
Mhm.
Was that person past due one time or another with another entity, or during his first transaction with us?
Mhm.
So that will be a no.
Okay. In short, it's key data,
Yeah, key
for the
data.
customers. So
Uh-huh.
there's a prior engagement with the customer as well, because you're getting behavioral and
More on that. For the new one, we are engaging a research agency right now,
Mhm.
and we want to get what are the net disposable income in every region. It will vary depending on the lifestyle of the driver, for example, or the family. There are some which borrow several motorcycles as well, not for their own use, but to be used by their barrio mates. They'll be the one to ferry that tricycle and get the riders.
Very interesting, sir. But my question is, as a banker, you have seen the needs of these people who live in moderate means. What exactly are their priorities? And what is it that you are trying to provide to help them get it? So it's just like, my question is, how important is financial inclusion to households?
To households.
And businesses, small businesses, because you're targeting the smaller ones.
We want to teach them how to really save. That's first step.
Yes.
Save for the future. Don't just spend what we usually hear being called as a one-day millionaire. You have the money today, spend all of it, then worry later.
Okay.
So we want to teach them how to save as well, give them a lower rate in their loan, so that there will be more net that they can receive,
Yes.
which they will funnel into savings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope, sir, that, I wish you great success so that you can replicate these beautiful projects on financial inclusion. I think, sir, because we're running out of time, there's another question. Basically, with the technology now, even with the Data Privacy Act and all the other, cyber security issues, what do you think are still the challenges that remains to be addressed in the banking sector?
Yeah. It's not only in the banking sector, it's more on the user of technology.
And also, and with the bank customers as well,
Yeah,
sir.
bank
So,
customers. I want to give this advice to the bank customers.
Okay.
That technology is really here to stay. We cannot avoid technology.
Yes.
But the other part of it, you're given the technology, but you're not using it wisely. It's at your disadvantage. So what do I mean by that? There are some people who is into, say, for example, the social media. They're gonna publish all their credentials,
Correct.
which should be sacred to them.
That's right.
So that's my advice. Don't go to a internet cafe and then publish everything that is sacred to you. Otherwise,
right.
some people will get it and will try to do an identity theft.
Sir, as a banker, what are those data that should be avoided placing it there?
Yeah,
for the
everything.
sake of our
We have
viewers?
this one experience. Maybe this lady or this boy was so happy to get a job, a slot in a school.
Okay.
So he published everything, the TIN, the the GSIS number, everything.
Okay.
So a very enterprising person will capture that and create an ID. We cannot say that that's you in the ID. We will just check the data. If it matches, then we'll give you a loan. So that's
critical.
yeah,
How critical data is.
Yeah. You keep your data
theft.
close to your heart,
Okay.
to your chest, as they say.
Okay.
Okay, that's my advice. But don't worry about technology. Technology is here to stay. We need to embrace it.
Anything exciting with your bank, sir, that we will anticipate in the next coming months?
I just want to share the one I mentioned about Lone Ranger.
Okay.
This what helped us grow because of reaching out to several places. And there was this one story which I cannot forget. There was a teacher who was hospitalized,
Okay.
and he's in need of additional money to pay the hospital bills. So he called the branch, and she said she cannot go to our office. So what we did, we sent our people armed with this Lone Ranger kit, and went there, processed the loan, and presto, her financial need was addressed. So why am I telling this? We want to make things easier for our clients because our tagline in our bank is simple is good. We think of simple processes that we can bring on to our client and make banking easy for them. Okay. By
And that
doing
is-
so, yes, sir.
And that is very admirable because you are trying to humanize banking.
Yeah,
It's there is sometimes a negative connotation for banks that
Yeah.
it's just for profitability.
Yeah,
But
okay.
with the way you are describing it, you are trying to reach out
Yeah.
to them and help them with their real life needs. As you
Okay.
were saying.
Yeah, okay. In our bank, we have also this motto that we should be a straightforward banker, meaning no hidden charges. We're not charging anything that you do not know. Everything is upfront,
Okay.
being told to you. So going back to that, you said we're not only for the bank. That's the again another tagline of the institution. We want to be known for this brand that we are advancing the welfare of our business as well as the welfare of the communities we serve. So as an example, in our automation, we cut a lot of cost, operating cost. And in return, we give some of it to our client by charging less.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Our time is running out, and we hope that financial inclusion will continue to be bolstered in the country, and we look forward to more projects and initiatives by the banking sector towards financial inclusion that benefits more and more Filipinos. We'd like to thank Mr. Lino Abacan of City Savings for joining us today. Open for business returns. Wait for the quote of the day and the term for the week when open for business returns. Keep watching. Thank you. We're open for business. In our term of the week, you take a refresher of business terms to make you updated, more informed, and ready to make smarter business decisions. Our term of the week is Know Your Customer, or KYC. According to the Center for Financial Inclusion blog, Know Your Customer, or KYC, is a regulation that requires all financial institutions to ensure that they validate the identity of all their clients. KYC regulation is part of the standards and, while important, can sometimes create barriers to financial inclusion. For example, new KYC regulations require that providers review identity documents for new clients, which many financially excluded clients often lack, such as passport, identification card, or employment documentation. We end our webisode with a quote of the day. And today's words are from George Washington Carver, a world-famous chemist who made important agricultural discoveries and inventions. It is not the style of clothes one wears, neither the kind of automobile one drives, nor the amount of money one has in the bank that counts. These mean nothing. It is simply service that measures success. Join us again next Saturday, 5 p.m. Philippine time, for another episode of Open for Business, where we discuss business information, deliver the latest business news to keep you informed and open for business and be ahead of the curve from vision to action. You're on EagleNewsLive.com. This is Caesar Vallejos. Have a great day.